How about them Cowboys? Man, it's a game of inches. And you learned why it is a game of inches. And that was a close call. Dallas survives. When Dallas was in a tough spot, like the fourth and 11, after the Raiders had tied the game at 10, they went to the fake punt, and the punter Chris Jones got the first down and gave the Cowboys offense a much needed boost. And it really set up a crucial drive that gave us a crucial touchdown. Man, that was a close one. And also, Dak Prescott, he didn't have his best game. He really struggled. And especially Tyron Smith was knocked out of the game, and so Byron Bell came in, and Prescott struggled, but we did enough to win, and man, that win is huge. And with the game tied at 17, when you are in your own territory and you're fourth and maybe just fourth and a hair, they called on Prescott to power it ahead for first down, and picked it up by just a hair to give the Cowboys offense new life, and they made the most of that drive. Although we would have liked to have had a touchdown, we were stopped short at the one, and that left Oakland with one timeout and 10 and about less than 2 minutes left to go in the game. And I was saying, oh, go for it. Even if you don't make it, you make the Raiders have to go about 55 to 60 yards for a field goal, for a winning field goal. And out of the shadow of their own post. Hey, kitty. Say hi, kitty. Say hi, kitty. This is our kitty. You see the Cowboys? They beat them. They beat the Raiders. So, I do think that we made a really good call in kicking the go-ahead field goal. But then we held them on to 3 incomplete passes on third, and then fourth down, Courtney Lewis interferes with Crabtree, and the play gets sent down into the Cowboys 20-yard line, inside their 20-yard line, and it was like, oh man, this is really bad. But then after 2 plays, Derek Carr was headed for the end zone, and our safety, Jeff Heath, he came in and he he hit Carr and it dislodged the ball, and it went into the end zone and came out for a touchback. And that was the turnover that really, that was the play that we needed. We had no turnover, we had no takeaways, but that takeaway was everything. Because instead of a touchdown and a crushing defeat, we get to run out the clock with a huge victory. You know, the Cowboys could have just as easily have just folded and just not, and just gave up on that play when Carr was headed for the end zone, but Jeff Heath, he was a safety. And you know, there's a reason why they're called the safety. It's because he's the last line of defense. And he showed why a safety is usually the last line of defense, because if it weren't for him, Jeff Carr would have gone in, and our playoff hopes would have pretty much been shattered. But we got the biggest break of the game. We had Crabtree caught a pass and fumbled it early in the first half, and we could have fell on it. And also, there were a couple of fumbles that we kind of could have picked up, but the one that mattered the most came at the best time, and we did it. Also, the return of Ezekiel Elliott. Boy, are we in need of that extra gear, because Ezekiel Elliott gives our offense a much needed extra gear that we're going to need if we want to win our last two games. Now, it looks like if Philadelphia beats Oakland next week, then they might rest their starters against us in the finale, which if we beat Seattle, we would probably have a good chance at winning. We gotta hope the Eagles beat the Raiders, and then if the Eagles have home field advantage through the playoffs before game day, then if they rest their starters and we play every starter, which we're going to need, that would be huge. But first things first, we got to take it one game at a time. It's Seattle. They're going to be a desperate team coming in, and desperate teams are usually the most dangerous teams. Man, it's a game of inches, and this game showed it. See you on Christmas Eve, and how about them Cowboys? Bring on the Seahawks. Hope Zeke runs wild on Seattle. Go Cowboys.